This is a major political story in the United Kingdom that is raising serious questions about judgment, trust, and government appointments. Newly released documents have revealed warnings that were given before a controversial diplomatic appointment was made. The story involves Prime Minister Keir Starmer, senior Labour figure Peter Mandelson, and concerns about links to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The information in this report comes from Reuters, a well-known international news agency. Let's break down what the documents show and why this story is creating debate in British politics. Newly released government documents show that Prime Minister Keir Starmer had been warned about risks before appointing Peter Mandelson as Britain's ambassador to Washington, one of the most important diplomatic roles in the UK. The documents suggest officials raised concerns about Mandelson's reputation because of his past friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender whose connections with powerful figures around the world have been widely investigated. These papers are part of more than 100 pages of documents that were released publicly, giving a closer look at the background checks and discussions that happened before the appointment was made. According to the documents, officials warned that the relationship between Mandelson and Epstein could create serious reputational risks for the British government if the appointment went ahead. One document explains that Mandelson's relationship with Epstein reportedly continued even after Epstein had already been convicted in 2008 for procuring an underage girl. The documents say that the relationship between the two men continued between 2009 and 2011, during a time when Mandelson was serving as Britain's business minister. Another detail in the documents claims Mandelson stayed at Epstein's house in June 2009, even while Epstein was serving time in jail, which raised further concerns among officials reviewing the appointment. There were also questions raised about Mandelson's past political history, including the fact that he had resigned from government roles more than once in the past. Officials also noted that Mandelson had supported closer economic and political ties with China, which some believed could be sensitive when representing Britain in the United States. A summary of a call between senior advisors said that the process of appointing Mandelson appeared to be strangely rushed, which made some officials uneasy. Jonathan Powell, the national security advisor at the time, reportedly said he had concerns about Mandelson's reputation when speaking with Morgan McSweeney, who was then the Prime Minister's chief of staff. Despite these warnings, the appointment still went ahead, and Mandelson was selected as Britain's ambassador to Washington in December 2024. However, the situation later became more controversial when the details of Mandelson's connection to Epstein became more widely known. In September, Prime Minister Starmer decided to remove Mandelson from the diplomatic position as pressure grew from political opponents and the media. Starmer has said that Mandelson did not fully explain the extent of his relationship with Epstein when he was being considered for the role. But opposition politicians in Parliament say the newly released documents suggest the Prime Minister already knew about the connection before making the appointment. A Conservative lawmaker Alex Burghardt criticised the Prime Minister in Parliament, saying it was hard to believe that someone with Starmer's legal background did not see the risks earlier. Another part of the controversy involves Mandelson asking for more than £547,000 in compensation after being removed from the role. The government said that request was too high and instead gave him a settlement of £75,000, which officials described as a reasonable agreement. The story became even more serious when Mandelson was later arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, although he was later released on bail while the investigation continues. The emails released by the US Justice Department in January reportedly suggested Mandelson may have shared government documents with Epstein, and that Epstein recorded payments to Mandelson or his partner. Mandelson has said he does not remember receiving any payments and has not publicly responded to the allegations about leaking documents. More documents about the appointment process are expected to be released later, and the government says those papers will show that Mandelson misled the Prime Minister about the full extent of his relationship with Epstein. Government Minister Darren Jones told Parliament that lessons have been learned from the situation and that steps are being taken to improve the system used for checking senior appointments. The story continues to raise questions about how carefully top government positions are reviewed and whether stronger checks are needed in the future. This report is based on information published by Reuters. Also invite viewers to subscribe to News TV for more clear updates and detailed reports on major political stories from the UK and around the world. This developing story shows how past relationships and background checks can become major political issues. The newly released documents suggest that warnings were given before the appointment of Peter Mandelson, but the decision still went ahead. Now the issue has turned into a political debate in Parliament, while police investigations and further document releases could reveal even more details. As more information becomes public, the pressure on the government may continue to grow. This report is based on information from Reuters. If you want more clear news updates and explanations like this, make sure you subscribe to News TV and stay informed about the stories shaping politics in the UK and around the world.